everyone, this is Jan from New York City, and I just can't help but think of the opening theme to that old soap opera that used to go something like this. Like sands through the hourglass, these are the days of our lives. Something like that. I remember that when I was a kid, don't you? Perhaps some of you watched it. Of course, you're looking at a bag full of change. Of course, it's sprinkled in with a few pennies. But what I like to do is I like to sort them. I like to keep the pennies separate from the silver. And anyway, the bottom line about this video, kerplunk. Don't get scared, Mom, in the background here, kerplunk. Kerplunk and kerplunk. So I'm going to be kerplunking as we speak. You know, this video is mainly about this, and it's a phrase that a lot of people use, and I noticed that our dear friend Dawn from Sensible Living with Money Mom seems to use, well, every once in a while. She says, every little bit helps. Dawn, you are 100% right. How many of you out there collect coins? Just wondering. I don't mean like, like investment coins as far as like, a rare dollar, stuff like that. But I mean change, change. What is your method? I'm kind of like curious. My method is an old-fashioned, tried and true one. And it goes like this. You go out, you spend, you break $1 or whatever you break. You don't touch the change. That's a no-no. And then just come back. Whatever you have at the end of the day, it sort of ends up either in a bag like this or a jar like this. These originated in this one, all these little containers, but had the mixture of the pennies in that, and I kind of, like I said, like to keep them separate. Don't ask me why. I don't know. Do you do that? I'm just curious to know how do you collect change style? Do you sort them out? Do you go to Coinstar? Do you just go to your own bank? Do you roll them up at home? What is your take on that? Do you think the fees at the Coinstar are reasonable? My take on it is I think that it is very reasonable to do the Coinstar deal. And there's a video I'm going to link up. I also wanted to mention there are a couple of really interesting videos on people's saving change style. But I'm just being a little bit of a nosy Nell, and I would like to know get a whole bunch more change. What your style is, Do you separate your pennies? You separate your dimes? You separate your quarters? Sometimes I get in the mood where I just want a quarter jar. How many of you do that? Did a penny slip by in that one? No, it's just my imagination. No, it's a shadow. So, okay, yeah. Or sometimes I just may want to do like a nickel thing. I don't know. It all depends. I used to have, now this sounds crazy, I used to have a fishbowl. But it was like a square lit up fishbowl. And the only thing I had in it were, guess what? Dimes. I didn't allow anything else but dimes in that thing. Can I tell you a little story about that? It turned out that I had about $700 of dimes in that thing over time. And I think it took, I don't know what did it take, a couple of years? Then, a container like this, except glass, except huger, I had like lots and lots of quarters in. I took that to a bank years ago, and I opened up a separate account. It was just like quarters from top to bottom. And let's just imagine a jar that looked like this, except way bigger, a bottle like this, So, like I said, I'm just kind of like being curious or nosy, whatever you want to call it. A bunch of pennies in that. And just share with me. So please comment below what your change saving style is. By the way, never ever think that the change means nothing. Change is money. This is money. You got to start somewhere. Start with the change. Everybody has it. And in the meantime, this has been Jan from New York City, wishing everybody a great evening, a great morning, or a great afternoon, depending on what time. And like coins in the hourglass or in the glass bottle or plastic bottle, these are the changing days of our lives. Meet you at the next Coinstar. Share with me what you do. Have a great day.